Only joking, hello. I'm just going to do a little video today about the differences between halal, halal slaughter and halal certification, because there seems to be an awful lot of confusion and people who don't know the difference or why any of it's significant. So we're going to start with halal. Halal literally just means permissible. It means it's allowed within Islam. It's allowed. And the only things that aren't halal, which are haram, forbidden, are blood, alcohol and pork products. Anything other than those is allowed within Islam. And they know that. They're not idiots. They're quite capable of reading labels and deciphering what they can and can't eat. And then we have halal slaughter, which is the barbaric, cruel, hideous method by which they kill their animals. Ritually sacrifice. Let's call it. It's a sacrifice, isn't it? It's a blood sacrifice. Every time they kill an animal, and it's hung upside down, and it's conscious while it has its neck slit, and it lays there dying slowly, bleeding out, for up to 12 minutes for a cow. 12 minutes of writhing and screaming in agony, so that they can appease their god. When actually it's even in the Quran that any food can be made halal by simply saying Bismillah over it. So even meat. So halal slaughter, again, whilst fair enough we have it, it shouldn't be allowed in Britain. It's utterly barbaric. We have animal rights and animal protection for a reason. And halal slaughter goes against everything. And kosher, we'll talk about kosher as well. But the difference with halal is that halal is served in every supermarket in Britain now. It's pretty much standard. Any chicken or lamb you buy in a UK supermarket will be halal. It won't be kosher, because kosher is specifically kept within Jewish communities as per the law. The law actually states that halal and kosher food should only be for the consumption of people of that faith. That's the law. Yet we are being sold halal food, halal slaughtered meat on a mass scale. It's pretty much the standard now. So 100% of the population are eating meat that has been sacrificed for 5% of the population. This is how insidious it is and how it's worked its way into Britain. And now we have millions of animals who are now again suffering through halal slaughter to appease 5% of the population. When it's actually unnecessary, because they can just say Bismillah over it and voila, they have halal meat. And then we get onto halal certification, the completely unnecessary money-making racket that has crept into British food and non-consumables. You have halal shampoo now. This is how bad it is. And halal certification is nothing but a tax. It's a 2.5% tax that is added to your food, and that money then goes to funding the advancement of Islam, madrasas, mosques, Islamic cultural centres, and even towards terrorism. Many reports from American and Australian halal certification have found that funds have made their way to Hamas and to the Muslim Brotherhood, which are terrorist organisations. Some $15 million was given to the Muslim Brotherhood last year through halal certification. It is a completely unnecessary tax. It is not needed, it's not necessary. Muslims are perfectly capable of reading the back of a pack and deciphering whether it is halal or haram. This tax is un-Islamic and it's skyrocketed, and the problem with it is it's unregulated. Anybody can set up as a halal certifier. I could literally call around and say I'm a halal certifier now. I could walk into a factory and I could say, yeah, this is halal, pay me a load of money please. And that money then goes on to forward the advancement of Islam, the spread of the ideology, and it funds terrorism. So yes, it is significant, and yes, it does matter that something is halal certified when it doesn't actually need to be. And people should be standing up against this. You are paying extra money for your food for absolutely no reason, and that money is then going on to forward the destruction of our continent and our country, and to spread Islam. So yes, it does matter. It is significant. And people need to start looking into things like this and stop making ridiculous comments like, oh, Cadbury's doesn't have any meat in it, so what does it matter? No, you're right, it doesn't have any meat in it, therefore it doesn't actually need to be halal certified, and therefore they don't need to be paying this tax to the Islamic community to fund our destruction. People need to wake up and stop accepting things that are happening within our society now. Because you're literally paying through your food, and it's Warburton's do it, Kingsmill bread. These are all halal certified companies. These are all now paying the Islamic community to pretty much destroy the country. That's where this money goes, for the funding of mosques, madrasas, and towards terrorism. So please open your eyes and go and do a little bit of research. Stop living in ignorance and learn the difference between halal slaughter, and halal certification. Thank you.